Thanks to Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, guess who is the real big winner of 2016? David French at nationalreview.com this morning is absolutely right about this, ladies and gentlemen. If only by comparison to Hillary and Trump, Barack Hussein Obama looks better in the eyes of the casual American voter. I mean, who in American politics is having a better year than Barack Hussein Obama? At this point in his second term, he has a better approval rating than every post-war president except Bill Clinton and Dwight Eisenhower. Politics is relative, folks. I mean, that's how Hillary Clinton is getting elected, and that's why Barack Obama's. Did you ever think that you would see a justified public view that what we got now is actually better than what we're going to get? Oh, everything is a first, it seems, anymore. At the same time that nothing should surprise us. Now, it's easy to see why Bill Clinton and Dwight Eisenhower were popular. Despite his scandals, Bill Clinton was a gifted politician who presided over a stunning tech-driven boom that had, of course, nothing to do with him, but he happened to be the guy in office when it happened. Eisenhower was a war hero who ended a large-scale combat in Korea, in other words, we lost, and governed through years of peaceful economic growth until the 1957 recession, but we won't talk about that. At the end of both presidencies, most Americans could unequivocally declare that they were better off than they had been 8 years before. But what about Obama? Well, we've been in an economic depression for almost a decade. His signature domestic achievement, Obamacare, is unraveling before our eyes, as it was designed to do. Next step, single payer. His domestic record is the worst. And then there's his foreign policy, which has been nothing short of a disaster by design. Every American enemy is stronger than when he took office, which is consistent with what he said his legacy would be, an America reduced to the level of the rest of the world. Jihadists hold more territory now than ever before, and they strike allied cities across the world with impunity. Russia invaded Ukraine and continues to advance its interests at the West's expense. Red China is growing increasingly aggressive. The winner of the Nobel Peace Prize has put American troops back in harm's way in Iraq and has engaged American forces in combat in more countries than that nasty neocon warmonger, George W. Bush, ever did. Political judgments, however, are not made in a vacuum. Politics is relative. They're always a matter of contrasts. And Obama has enjoyed the enormous good fortune to be followed onto the scene by two of the most disliked, loathed, despised, detested, and hated figures in American politics and in modern political history. On virtually every score, the one seems preferable to either Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump. And now, again, this is to the casual voter, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, sure, He botched the Middle East and squandered victory in Iraq, but he did it because of his ideology, without even a hint of suspicion that the King of Morocco or oil-soaked Gulf sheiks were rewriting American foreign policy with gifts to a family charity. Yes, he may have joked about auditing his enemies, and his minions may have urged Democrats to punch back twice as hard. And there was, the IRS scandal squashing Tea Party groups 4 years ago. But the 2016 race features Trump's carnival of juvenile playground insults, not to mention all too many actual punches. And, of course, his threat to effectively eviscerate the First Amendment and all the other unconstitutional, dictatorial, despotic plans that he has in store. Yes, Obama may have violated his pledge to create the most transparent administration in history, but at least he didn't create a private, unsecured server on which to discuss the most highly classified information. He just used it. He didn't create it, but he signed off on it. Hillary was transparent to Russia and Red China for the sake of being opaque to Americans. She feared the Freedom of Information Act more than she valued our nation's secrets. And Lord knows the Obama regime has its share of scandals. The IRS's targeting of Tea Party groups, again, is still one of the worst examples of executive abuse in modern American political history. And Fast and Furious, and just keep on going. But his White House has been mercifully grope-free. In other words, he didn't have sex scandals, which are... That's the kind of scandal that the public actually cares about, in essence. I mean, Trump puts the T in tawdry, and Americans know that another round of Mr. Bill in the White House means another round of philandering smoke at best, and fire, as in rape orgies right in the Oval Office, with our popular culture further debased by the leaders of the political elite, of which Donald Trump is a card-carrying member. A card in French tickler, And he's always got a crate of condoms with him, I guess. He probably doesn't, come to think of it. He wants to spread... He's a megalomaniac. He wants to spread his seed as far and wide as he can, right? Now, it would be hard for Obama not to look better to American voters than Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. I mean, he's made mistakes. Well, I wouldn't call them mistakes. I call them deliberate malevolences. But if Mrs. Clinton was any ordinary American, she'd have been indicted a long time ago. Obama's intellect is stupendously overstated, but Trump's ignorance is bulletproof. At a time when American politics keeps lowering the bar, bad politicians become better politicians merely by sticking around. So Obama is about to leave office on a high note, perhaps even with higher approval ratings than Ronald Reagan. But he didn't build that approval rating. He didn't build it. His successors did. And, of course, that presumes that he ever leaves at all.